Not at your age. The future will soon be past. By Christopher John Zinn, of Bondi Beach, 2026. Narrated by David Tredinnick. The well-mannered courtesy reminder to return overdue books to Paddington Library is preying on my mind. Emotional blackmail, perhaps, but begrudging even modest fines, I'll get them back. I've just entered the last quarter of this marathon. That's 35 kilometres down and just 7 clicks to go. Hardly far compared to the scale of the universe, but on Earth, with my humble frame, it counts as a challenge. The distance left to run makes one paperback's take on outer space's black holes strangely relevant. I admit the book was never finished, far less understood, given its multi-dimensional themes of space, time, and paradox. A long run, a short life, an endless cosmos. You don't need to be an Einstein to appreciate that the passage of time and space is relative, as is the concept of being old. Every spectator on the course who bellows, "Great work, mate," perhaps out of soft-hearted charity rather than clinical assessment, sees some old bloke shuffling along at the back of the pack. Caught in my space-time bubble, I imagine a somewhat faster, nimbler, even younger version of myself somewhere near the middle. That's relativity in action. It might be delusional, but it works for me. Reality may spur defeatism. Surely not at your age. My friends may have judged my taking on such challenges. Bugger you, I counter silently to their supposed cynicism. My wife thinks long-distance running, which I have inexplicably adopted in the past 6 years, somehow ages me faster. Her diagnosis defies the conventional wisdom, as I feel younger. It's relativity in slow action, like the theoretical astronaut who can travel faster than light. They return from space in a week, but find the Earth has aged 1,000 years. I've just turned 65 and don't want to admit to myself or anyone else what a creased face and greying locks makes plain. Like it or not, I am getting on. I'd only turned up at Shell Harbour to support 2 running club chums. One of them, Shelley, was fearful as she'd never run the mythical 42.2 kilometres before. I wanted to hold her at the start, tell her to take 3 deep breaths and reassure her that any anxieties would evaporate if she tried her best. But as ever, caught up in the excitement of the occasion, I couldn't resist, unprepared and undertrained as I was, to have a go myself. My first and last spontaneous marathon. Hopefully not like that which the Athenian herald Phidippides ran in 490 BC and promptly dropped dead. It's a lifelong lesson and pattern since I had to overcome shyness as a kid. Even though it's got me in hot water, I rarely say no and rarely regret saying yes. Maybe I have something to prove. I was taking on not just distance, but also age, which inevitably weighs and slows you down. The Black Hole book talked a lot about entropy. It is both a thermodynamic law and a neat definition of my fears for the body and brain in old age, a lack of predictability and gradual decline into disorder. Maybe all these steps will help. The great thing is to keep moving. This final 25% of the course, as in life itself, is where the challenges really begin. It's where the energy in your leg muscles can run out, and those initially dismissed anxieties can condense into blinding clouds of uncertainty. It's not fear which eats the soul, so much as doubt. Hesitation about your stamina, determination, and commitment to endure. I'm sinking into the warm embrace of seductive surrender. Like a soft-shoed siren, she whispers, "You can rest. You've gone far enough. It's time to give in." Yes, maybe it's ego, but it's also something more. Entirely what that more is has been a lifelong speculation. The joy of discovery, the quest to explore, the substance of raw experience, It's all here now on this wet pavement. Nearly 4 hours are gone, and just over 30 minutes are left. Can I last the distance? In truth, I don't know. A muscle might cramp, my heart triggered into its arrhythmic beat again, and I could fall or merely stop in my tracks and admit, enough already. But jogging, albeit timidly, on the razor's edge between knowledge and uncertainty is actually a surprisingly exciting place to be. Not forever, but for here and now. I don't want to avoid this extraordinary moment as the exertion-generated endorphins flush through my system, a pleasurable byproduct of evolution. It's the runner's high, and you have to stride a fair way to get the taste, but once savoured, beware, you can be hooked for life. Unlike other bodily pleasures, it's short and intense and impossible to share directly with others. Nothing this good can last forever. I distract myself from the aches and pain with further reflections on space and time, essentially how far and how long it takes to the finish line. As elders experience, time gets compressed and rushes past, making every moment more precious. Likewise, the final kilometres of my marathon. The cheers, the waves, the finish, and 4 hours and 33 minutes on the road seem but a wrinkle in time until, of course, next time. I took with glee to the ice bath, and my teeth chattered like castanets. Shelley's experience was more tortured as her time stretched out, but she made it in last place to much cheering. Being keen to capture the magic of feeling younger, I held on to the book and copped the $1.50 fine and a stern email. But you can't just read about things. You need to experience them. No one can see black holes on a dark winter's night, of course, but I know they know I am here. Life is a long run, and having faith in where Providence might take and even surprise you can be handy. The end.